Hello friends, welcome to this series in which we are discussing the multiple choice questions on Indian polity. We have done 13 videos till date and this is the 14th in which we are discussing the topic of Prime Minister and the Central Council of Ministers. After every question, pause the video and try to attempt it yourself so that at the end of the video you can evaluate your own score. Let us start. First question, on the death of Jawaharlal Nehru and Lal Bahadur Shastri, who was appointed as the acting Prime Minister? The options are A. Indira Gandhi, B. Gulzarilal Nanda, C. Devi Lal, or D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. Gulzarilal Nanda. So in the year 1964, when Jawaharlal Nehru died, there was no immediate successor. Therefore, Gulzarilal Nanda was appointed as the acting Prime Minister. And next, in the year 1966, in the similar situation when Lal Bahadur Shastri died, Gulzarilal Nanda was again appointed as the acting Prime Minister. And after a few days, Indira Gandhi was appointed as the full-fledged Prime Minister in the year 1966. Second question, which of the following roles is not played by the Prime Minister of India? Options are A. Chairman of Niti Aayog, B. Chairman of GST Council, C. Chairman of Interstate Council, or D. Head of the Union Council of Ministers. Correct answer is B. Chairman of the GST Council. So it is not the Prime Minister, but actually it is the Union Finance Minister who is the Chairman of GST Council. All other three positions are enjoyed by the Prime Minister of India. Third question, which of the following does not form a part of the oath of office and secrecy of the Prime Minister of India? The options are A. To uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, B. To bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India, C. To safeguard the interests of the Central Council of Ministers, or D. To faithfully and conscientiously discharge the duties of his office. Correct answer is C. To safeguard the interests of the Central Council of Ministers. This line is not a part of the oath that the Prime Minister of India takes. And let me know in the comment section who administers oath of office to the Prime Minister of India. Fourth question, the Constitution requires the Prime Minister to be A. The leader of the Parliament, B. The leader of majority party in Rajya Sabha, C. The leader of majority party in Lok Sabha, or D. All of the above. Correct answer is C. The leader of majority party in the Lok Sabha. So it does not matter if the Prime Minister and his party do not enjoy a majority in the Rajya Sabha, because it is an indirectly elected house and it is only the Lok Sabha that determines whether a person will be Prime Minister or not. Fifth question, the term of the Prime Minister is options A. 5 years, B. From one general election to the next, C. As long as he or she enjoys majority in the Lok Sabha, or D. As long as he or she enjoys the confidence of the Parliament. Correct answer is C. As long as he or she enjoys majority in the Lok Sabha. So here the word Parliament means Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha as well as the President. But Rajya Sabha is not mandatory for making the government. It is only the Lok Sabha in which the confidence or the majority matters. Sixth question, the total number of ministers including the Prime Minister in the Council of Ministers shall not exceed dash of the total strength of Lok Sabha. The options are A. 10%, B. 20%, C. 25%, or D. 15%. Correct answer is D. 15%. So by 91st Constitutional Amendment, this provision was added to the Constitution by way of which not more than 15% of the total strength of the Lok Sabha can be the ministers including the Prime Minister, and that translates to around 83 ministers including the Prime Minister in the Lok Sabha of more than 550 MPs. Seventh question, you have to choose the incorrect statement. Options: A. The nature of advice tendered by the ministers to the president cannot be inquired into by any court. B. The president can appoint only those persons as ministers who are recommended by the prime minister. C. Even after the dissolution of Lok Sabha, the council of ministers continue to hold office. Or D. None of the above. The correct answer is D. None of the above. So all the three statements are actually correct. 8th question. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to. Options are A. The Parliament, B. The Lok Sabha, C. The Prime Minister, or D. The President. Correct answer is B. Lok Sabha. So the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to Lok Sabha because it is only the Lok Sabha in which the no confidence motion can be introduced, and once the no confidence motion is passed against the government, the Prime Minister including the ministers have to resign. So it is actually the Lok Sabha to which the Council of Ministers is collectively. 9th, which of the following is not a legitimate category of ministers? The options are A. Ministers of State, B. Cabinet Ministers, C. Deputy Ministers, or D. Subordinate Ministers. The correct answer is D. Subordinate Ministers. So it is not a legally valid category of ministers. There are three types of ministers. At the top come the Cabinet Ministers. On the second number are the Ministers of State who assist the Cabinet Ministers. And at number 3 is the Deputy Ministers. Last question. Which article of the Constitution defines the term cabinet? The options are A. Article 75, B. Article 76, C. Article 352, or D. Article 356. Correct answer is C. Article 352. So Article 352 deals with national emergency, and for the purpose of national emergency, the 44th amendment to the Constitution added the word cabinet to Article 352, and it defines cabinet as a body of senior cabinet ministers and the Prime Minister who take all the decisions of the government. So this term cabinet was originally not there in the Constitution, but it was added by 44th amendment to the Article 352 of the Constitution. So thank you everyone. Let me know your comments. Let me know your scores in the comment section. Thanks for watching.